has been observed.
Good morning, teacher.
So today, I am going to demonstrate on what to do during an earthquake drill. So what we are going to do is duck, cover, and hold. First, you need to duck down to the floor. Second, take cover under a sturdy table or desk. And third, hold on until the shaking stops. Understood?
Yes, teacher.
So children, can you do it with me?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, stand up. Duck. Cover. Hold. Okay, very good, children. Very good, students. So, duck, cover, and hold is important because it is an appropriate action to reduce injury and death during earthquakes.
Now, let us going to proceed to the verbal instruction and cues. So, several attention-related factors are important to consider when using verbal instructions to communicate how to perform a motor skill. Instructions should take into account learners' attention capacity limitations. According to the movement effect hypothesis, instructions should direct the learner's focus of attention of movement outcomes rather than to the movement themselves. Novice learner can learn in a variant environmental context regulatory conditions without conscious awareness of them or implicit learning. Although attention focus to the environmental context is important, instructions influence the novice learner to direct attention to a certain performance goals which influence the strategies that learners use to begin the practicing a skills. Now, verbal cues can begin by an instructor or the performer to direct and observe first Okay, so I'm going to read you a list of instructions and I'm going to repeat it once and you have to draw what I say. You ready? Okay, so first off, you want to make sure that your paper's vertically on your desk. So step 1, you're going to draw a medium-sized circle in the middle of your paper. Okay, step 2, draw a medium-sized square below the circle, but you have to have the top touch the bottom of the circle. Next, you're going to draw a medium-sized heart in the square. Okay, now you're going to draw 2 smaller rectangles, one on each side of the square. They should go the wide way, not the tall way, and they should touch the sides of the square. Also, the top of each rectangle should line up with the top of the square. Okay, next, draw a medium-sized triangle above the circle. The bottom of the triangle should touch the top of the circle. Okay, now you're going to draw 3 small stars anywhere inside the triangle. Okay, now draw a small triangle in the center of the medium-sized circle. Okay. Now draw an arc which curves up below the small triangle.
What?
Draw 2 small circles above the small triangle, one slightly to the right and one slightly to the left.